Hello everyone, it's Sam Wong again. If you see me, you know that you passed another week. Hope so far your weekend is doing well. Before I go talk about recap from last week, just want to show you a couple of graphs. I think the good news is we are safe from the October curse. There's no market crash, but yet the market actually reached record highs on all three major indices. So this is really something to share right now because after the Fed, we passed October, and trying to let you seeing that on the average on the S&P 500 return since 1950, it actually been showing you that for most of the time, it actually would have give you a positive and give you better. I mean that the year actually not necessarily showing well, right? But in most cases, you see that again, but you have to bear in mind this is using a calculation of average, so that it's showing you, more like normalize it in a way. So you're telling you, a lot of time in history, the return of October, was still, not that bad. So, but it is actually doing pretty well. If you look at historical figures in a calculation of 70 years of comparison. And then the other thing also showing you is the index performance at this point so far, how things were looking. You're actually looking again, you're looking at pretty well. If you look at the index, you can see that all of these actually in October, it was doing pretty well. It's gone up really, really pretty well. And obviously, the time that was kind of in a downward trend earlier of the month. But overall, I mean, you're still looking at if draw a line from the beginning of October, you will see that it's still an upward slope, right? And in September, for those who watch my video before, you know that is actually, if you draw a line, you will be actually September is a downward sloping. So mean overall, if you're holding well, it's very hard. You can't talk about stocks. So if you look at the major index, you hold for a month of September beginning to the end, you actually is in the negative territory. So, so again, it's showing you that in October looking good normally. Next thing you will hear is gonna be talking about standard cost, standard arrives. So which means fourth quarter, typically talk about the effect that the market will push higher. Particularly I would say particularly in the November timeline, because in December, as holiday come, traders or fund manager were off on vacations or holiday, so actually the volume could have really slowed down. You may not necessarily go up as much, especially the week before the Christmas and the few days before New Year, a couple of days before New Year. So. And then I want to point out, talk about bowling. So that was one of the stocks I said I would share with you guys. So if you look 5 years chart, it's very clear to you that pre-pandemic, right? Pandemic is in November 2019, if you will. So then, way before then, actually hit a peak of $450 right here. It was in an upward trend since, early of the year 2015. And you really go into upward slope until there's some little challenges in 19 at the beginning, and then you'll come back up. And then you can see apparently during pandemic, which is starting a year of slipping, and in the third quarter, it was showing pretty bad there. And then after 2020, of course, the Westfield plan, wherever. So bowling was actually, like I said, I bought at $90 at the really low end point, and you actually made quite a bit of money very quickly in a few months, up to $150. And now you look at it, I mean, it was hitting as high as back to $260. But then you come back down to currently 207, and I will predict if you will go down further, you'll be probably hit $190, which is another $17 to go. Then you'll be the bottom up, and then you should have hitting the rebound and come back up. But past 3 years, aviation defense giant really on a long road to recovery. and take a severe blow to credibility. The company latest earnings released Wednesday showed that there's still many hurdles to U.S. industrial giant way before it claimed to overcome its problem. Despite that, the demand of 737 MAX and cargo planes, Boeing told investors that its earnings call is suffered from a quarterly loss, mainly due to, for those who listen to news lately, 787 Dreamliner production issue. The company at just loss of 60 cents a share and revenue of $15.3 billion. Both missed the average estimate, including $185 million accounting charge for the latest delay to the Starliner spacecraft and $187 million in cost from disrupted production of 787 Dreamliner. So Boeing again is still more than 50% lower than the all-time high it reached in early 2019 at the graph that I'm showing you here. And the latest report showed that company is gradually improving its financial position and in a better position than it was 2 years ago. Obviously, again, during the pandemic, really no plane, no sellers, and so on. That said, the stock is doing a long-term turnaround back for those who have the patience. So, like I said, right now, I would say it's pretty good. I mean, maybe a few more bucks down, right? $200, you buy it. You will really pretty good if the market continue to be the same that arrives. The reduction was really happening in fourth quarter. I think the stock is very easily back to 225. I'm really betting on, for short term, you will hit 250, hopefully, for Boeing. And then, 50 divided by 200, that's 25% return. So you may have 20 to 25% return, which meet my 20% rule. If you are not patient, think of a short-term investing, then it's time to walk. If not, again, it may take long-term in this aspect, maybe 2 years, for Boeing to be back on track and keep improving, exceed the expectation of the estimates that they kind of low pay right now, and you will hit it back to $400. So if you think about it, if you can hold 2 or 3 years and then you will double your stock and you think it makes perfect sense, then Boeing will be one of the stocks that I recommend to you. And the next one was talking about, which lately on the news this week since after earning announcement of Facebook. Facebook report exceeded revenue and kind of beat expectation of core earning. What may have surprised the street is the company planned a hike in the capital spending to build metaverse and commitment to artificial intelligence machine learning. So Facebook actually saying they have more, more investment other than just advertisement. And they will put more capital spending on. You will boost currently from $29 billion to $34 billion next year, which actually some of the company part could potentially benefit from it, like NVIDIA, Microsoft, because it needs some cloud, and some few other companies, because of the project that Facebook would like to dedicate it into for the $34 billion. And the company will also change the name in early December to reflect change of the DNA of future activity. So, yet advertisement at this point is still the largest revenue for Facebook, but again, more exciting is as they have grown so big and so much money, they want to focus on some other potential future, big gainers. So I really think this stock, which for those who listen to my video again before, JP Morgan was, or Bank of America, basically targeted, and if you look at Yahoo Finance page as well, Facebook was targeted, target price at $400 a share. So it will be something to consider. I don't think 400 will be happening. It will take really like Boeing, maybe 2 or 3 years, but much quicker turnaround. And if you look at the stock, actually, you will have really big benefit from it if you would have decided to buy it in after last quarter announcement or so. You was actually dipping down to at one point, if you go back and look at June, the announcement, quarterly announcement, that they were actually at $300, or actually at one point it was even, this chart go before in May, it was actually below $300, which is really a quick buy at that time, 200-ish after the earnings wasn't coming up as great as there was some boycott and some other port issues. But then, obviously Facebook again proved themselves how resilient to the market they are, how popular they are, and really brought the market to a, another record high of the prices. So $400 is not surprising to me. This is another stock to consider, and you think about the price where they're at, and compared to 52-week high 384, and I'm talking $400. It's not really far off from that picture, 25% increase, which actually, when I told you the stock was below $300, it is actually gaining even more than 25%. Okay, and see, 1 year low was $244. This stock again is really from $40 today going to IPO, probably what 6 or 7 years now, and you get up to $300. Compared to other high tech stock though, because they're so big, but they are not close to Apple at all and Amazon size, but then they are not really growing as much. If you think about from $40 or $50 share of stock, depending on where you buy. Of course, they dipped that down as low as $19 back then when after like within the same month of IPO issued. But regardless, from that point to here, it's like we're not talking about 6 times, actually 6 times more than original price. So compared to Amazon and other high tech prices, I mean, Facebook, to me, if it's something going to be the future, it's going to be here to stay, then this is definitely still have more momentum and opportunities. The other one I want to talk about, which I may have talked about in previous videos, so for those who watch my video and my friends, I'm sorry, it's just kind of redundancy when repeated, but it's just giving you a graph of 6 months favorite that this stock, like I said, it was driving up as high $213, and for whatever reason, because of China dislisting, well, the intense relationship between US and China, and and whatever other reasons, I mean, all the Chinese stock will get beat up pretty badly, and this one is one of them. So you're from 212 and dropped on time. Like I said, the lowest point was here, $75, but it bounced back way away the next day, back to really strong 80-ish to 90, and gone up to even just really quick $100 from a $75 in just in a couple of days here. And now you're back down to here at this level again. So it's really a good opportunity. I mean, you may go down another $10.78, but then again, November 11 is coming. So if the strategy of advertisement pushing on more sales, and I just went to Macy today, because Macy a pretty good deal that they were actually selling. If you would have bought Lancome, which again, cosmetic in US is cheaper than China for some reasons too. It's probably because of tariffs. So you bought that, and you buy anything $42. The deal only up to November 2nd, okay? You get 15% off in any Lancome's product, a cosmetic, 15% automatic. So that gives you 15% discount. If you buy anything over $42, you have opportunity to buy something for $75 or $77, somewhere around the range, for a value of $440 value, which have 11, well, really 9 pieces of stuff, but they say 11 pieces, which is kind of inaccurate because you have a box, it's kind of one, and then another thing that wasn't useful. But they do have 9, and then a couple of the like more like airline package, airplane package was small. Then you still have 7 pieces regular size, which is pretty good because I just took 2 big pieces out there and add together regular price. Those 2 are worth $130. And so by just all of that, you took the 2 things out, which is the advanced repair, and then the other one is cream. I don't know. I'm not a woman, Then so is what. So what I'm trying to say of this is really kind of our track, but we're talking retailers will find a way to push sales. That's why revenue get higher, and higher. The margin may get slim, but if even the margin, which is percentage from that perspective I'm trying to explain, you get slimmer. If they have a large scale ability, large scale sales, their dollars will still come to a bigger numbers, right? So I'm looking forward. If you don't buy Pinduoduo PDD, maybe you can consider JD. JD is also retail. Another one, pretty big. So it's a competitor basically. And then the other one, Tencent probably will have some stuff related to them as well for November 11th. So things to think about, this type of giant, and Alibaba, these type of giant Chinese share, which only got beat up. If you, again, you can pick any Chinese stock that have a name. Alibaba rebound quite a bit, but by the way, much better. But Bilibili, I mean, they all got beat up really low. But this one, I can tell you, the reason why I'll pinpoint this one is the biggest discount. And Tencent has some discount as well, but you know, really not 50%. But this one clearly is from the 52-week highs, is more than 50% discount. So I really believe of stock valuation calculation, and even from a technical perspective, speculation perspective, you pick a stock that can really poorly beat up, and as the name got bring it up, and there's some story behind it, momentum driving it, there's probably chances go up. So all this stock in previous video that I've introduced, actually surprisingly, Tesla was the one that gone up a lot, the most since I introduced the stock from I think a month ago with my video. But other one also went up. So this one I'm looking forward to go up also. And HYLN is right now at $8.05. Again, the announcement of earning will be November 2nd, I think, which is probably next week, sometime next week. Hopefully they will have some positive and better news and beat the estimate. So the stock will go up to $9 or $10. That's what I'm kind of expected. The last thing I want to show you, which is the 5-day chart of Nasdaq. So apparently you can see again up and down, but my story was kind of, you know, predicted in previous video. For those who don't believe me and don't know who I am, just go back to my previous video. Then you can see I couldn't say everything I said is 100% accurate, just to be fair, right? But if I can hit 80% of what I said, not 50, 50 is too bad. You know, higher than that, which is 75, 80%, because 90% was incredible, almost really fortune teller. So I think if I can hit, in most cases, very consistently 80% or more, then I think it's pretty good for you to follow me to invest, right? So this is what I have said. So first couple of days, you can still have momentum if the market not crash. So you can see it particularly, you know, a really big spike from Monday to Tuesday, probably midday, right? Then I said, well, you know, later of the day we'll have some profit taken and whatever. So then you come back down, right? Really, if you look at Dow Jones, the chart will be a little bit different, graphically a little bit different, and S&P 500, but the story similar is the first couple of days you will have opportunity, we still make money for the stock you bought. Wednesday, actually somehow you have, well, this one is showing up just upside, but really it is slipping down. So for Dow or wherever, if you look at it, they may shift the time, but they do have a dip. So it just depends on what happens Tuesday or Wednesday. Then Thursday, later of the Wednesday, we have volatility, so you push up a little bit. But Thursday, yes, all of the stock on Thursday actually were down again. And then Friday, you have some volatility, so you're up and down again. And actually, the morning was pretty good and solid, and Thursday was a little bit good and solid too before lunch. But then you was actually losing the momentum. And then at the end of the day, even though you still end up higher, but it's a lot shorter. So kind of wrap up the way I said it, right? In the first few days, you have opportunity that can make money. And then maybe the next couple of days, you will have a little more difficult time. Potentially you should have profit taken, which you will see some people probably did on Friday, last day of the October. And then in November, if you're going to listen to my video to the end, hopefully it'll give you some slack of favor what to do next, okay? So I'm just going to leave this graph here and just continue to give you the story on what happened last year and what things are coming up. The benchmark US 10 yield fell to 1.635%, and last week the 10-year yield hit 1.705, so the highest since May. The US dollar rose from 1 month low on Monday ahead of central bank meeting and economic data coming later in the week. Oil price rose on Monday, which multi-year high. Stock extended again to set fresh record high on Tuesday as investors took in another hefty set of earning economic data. Shares of Tesla nailed to add to gains and extend the stock market capitalization further above $1 trillion. So again, Tesla was really hit over $1,000 now and record high. Technology stock also gained broadly as investors awaiting earning results from the like of Alphabet, Twitter, and Advanced Micro Device. Unfortunately, Well, Twitter didn't really do as well, so after the announcement, kind of tipped a little bit. Another tech heavyweight, including Amazon. Again, Amazon unfortunately also short of expectation in saying because of the labor increase in costs, increase of materials, inflation due to inflation and whatnot. So they were actually expecting the next outlook wasn't going to be as great. So the stock actually kind of trimmed. And Apple was kind of similar. iPhone 13 sales wasn't as strong as expected, and also there will be potential shortage of supply coming for Christmas. So the stock also got nailed after it hit almost close to record high. Even given the pressure, my company managed to exceed Wall Street earning expectation and late quarter result. Both benchmarks slipped from their session high, but still in no gains. Being the record they set Monday, the Dow added 15.73 point, less than 1.1% to 35,756.88, hitting the 8th record close of the year. S&P 500 gained 8.3 point or 0.2% to 4574.79, is 57 closer high for 2021. Of the 144 companies in the S&P 500 report quarterly earnings through Tuesday morning, 81% have been beating analyst expectation, according to FactSet. Companies across the index are currently estimated growth third quarter earnings by 33% from a year earlier. The yield on the benchmark 10-year looked actually lower to 1.618%, but not much. Chinese property developer Morgan Lane failed to repay $250 million bond debt mature Monday, causing some of Chinese stocks slip back. So like this is what I'm saying. Some of this stuff have gone up but then came back down a little bit. Chinese stock last week. Baidu dropped 3.78%, while Pinduoduo slipped 7.4%, and XPeng pulled back 5.72% to name a few. Microsoft beat earning estimate due to strong growth on cloud business, and share went up along with Google up slightly as well. Tesla slipped 0.65%, driving Nasdaq retreat some of the gain on early section. Wednesday morning, all major indexes were hitting high due to strong reporting from Microsoft and high-tech sector. However, Dow was trading down while the tech-heavy Nasdaq and benchmark S&P will retreat again from early session driven by communication service, consumer discretionary, and technology sector. Share of credit card giant Visa had dropped 4.5% Wednesday, despite the company beating earnings fiscal quarter 2021 report. U.S. benchmark 10-year Treasury yield dropped to 2-week low, while the 2-year Treasury yield hit 19 months high, which is kind of weird. The U.S. dollar lost value against major index. Bank of America, second largest U.S. bank by asset, released $1.1 billion of reserve in the quarter as the bank grew more confident in the ability of borrower to repay the loan and less concerned about loan default. That boosted its profit by 58% to $7.7 billion. Revenue rose 12% to $22.8 billion. Global wealth management business was strong as more people engaged to manage their funds, boosting fee income as well. Loan balance were high at the end of the quarter. Merrill Lynch Wealth Management added around 4,200 net new household, while private banking added around 275 net new relationships. Well, that's just showing you some of the number, how banking business were growing while they report strong earnings, but again, also have to pay attention. Most of them not because of the business, but they actually pull back the reserve. So then, this more accounting games, and then when you move it back there, then, obviously, it looks better on the balance sheet, also what they reported. U.S. stock fell from record high Friday as investor wrap up October trade with disappointing financial update from tech benchmark Apple and Amazon. Amazon missed estimate along with concern of future rising costs. Apple iPhone 13 sale did not drive strong market would have anticipated. For Wall Street, the result appeared to vindicate concern that mounting supply chain disruption, labor costs, and material shortage will impact the company of all sizes heading into the holiday season, and will create a challenge for corporations to keep pace with rising demand. Still, both three major indexes ended the day high. The U.S. dollar index also moved higher by 0.802 points to 94.147. Gold is falling $14.853 to $17.70. And also, just to wrap up, give you some other exciting news going on in the other spectrum, as well as why Netflix stock has gone up so much. So that was a very popular game for those who are here to my video, or maybe you already seen a Squid Game. So Squid Game is a South Korean series about people competing for prize money in a brutal survival game. So if you're interested, maybe you can subscribe Netflix and watch it, or search online first in YouTube and see what was that about. The Beat series is a runaway success and has become a global cultural phenomenon. Squid was trading, so because of that success, they even have the cryptocurrency. Squid was trading around 1.2 cents on Tuesday, but is now at $3.05, surge of almost 25,000%. His market cap is now approximately 240 million. It's a play to earn cryptocurrency. Squid holder can take part in online game inspired by game in the show. Entry fees are charged in Squid, 10% which go to developers, and the rest is invested back into the reward pool. And actually, I'm trying to look up this one on my apps. Vouchers, it doesn't have this coin, and I don't think Robinhood has it either, so you can check it out. I'm not sure really where you can buy this coin, to be honest. The more people join, the larger reward pool will be, according to the white paper. More important, we do not provide deadly consequences. People won't die, man, just an online game, but it's kind of fun. While you really more like people gambling, like Super Bowl, which team gonna buy with the square, nice square, type of concept, right? But this is again online. It's kind of pretty interesting. It's very attractive for people. Your experience will also reflect on the joy and winning reward and sorrow of losing money when the game fails. Another cryptocurrency I'd like to mention, also called, which you may watch the news, is called Shiba Inu. Inu, Japanese word mean dog. So this is like Dogecoin compared to Dogecoin. So for this week, you rose more than 20% on Tuesday, but of course it's also slipped back. If you look at now, it's probably break even again. So it did gone up 20%, but it's come back down already. I did bust some just for fun. So while the enormous Krypton whale bought 276.6 billion token for about 11.5 million. This could be potentially another one replacing Dogecoin. Dogecoin actually have gone up quite a bit. I mean, it was over 34 cents, and then it come back down again, and then went up Bitcoin still over $61,000. My prediction from last week wasn't too bad, right? Like the way I explained just what you feel. The market momentum pushed up with expected strong earnings. Then Wednesday and Thursday slipped as a few Fortune 500 companies disappointed Wall Street. With Friday rebounded with profit takings. Still end up stronger. So the October curse didn't happen as many investors were feared, and now you can reset the clock, look at the center effect. Now they talk about fourth quarter. The next market will focus on FOMC meeting. Asset tapering, which already kind of expected in the market, already absorbed and digested that will happen. And it just matter how much they're going to start tapering. And also definitely we expect the interest rate not change at this point, despite the inflation that was kind of high. And when I say inflation, I'm pretty sure people who go to buy stuff, you go to consumer, go to a grocery, like even Costco, which you buy a whole batch of stuff with big discount, you notice price only gone up, right? I don't know. The government cannot lie to people. People are not stupid, put it that way. So you go there, you check it out. And I do want to mention to you, if you think those good you've seen are expensive, that's not quite. Go to a Chinese grocery. Go to buy some Chinese food or something that is imported from outside the country, international, compared to domestic, something you can buy, like meat, you can buy locally in the US, you realize the price has gone up a lot. I can tell you one example, like a famous brand I like called Garden. Garden is a very popular Hong Kong brand making kind of cookies. So one sales is 99 cents, but typically you don't get 99 cents, but roughly $1.25. Well, 99 was $1.25, that's 25% up, which is significant, right? But right now, last week I just went to grocery and I saw that now $2.70. You go figure, $1, or even let's say $1.30, now $2.70, 100% more. So inflation power, just saying, or even U.S. government keep publishing 5%. Well, give me an example where you see stuff only 5% higher. You name it, right? Most of the stuff we see a lot more. Even if you go to buy a car now, it's gone up more than 5%, right? Especially small item I noticed, like if you go buy salt. So if you buy a bag of salt, like it's really cheap, right? In America, we have a lot of resources. But now you look at the math, it's like 25% more. So the cheaper the things are, the more pricey percentage was going up. So just that you know. And so I don't know, but but again, inflation is there to stay. Powell now changed his tone all of a sudden. Well, you go figure. When an elementary student can tell you, "Hey, mom, why things are much more expensive now? Wow, my candy gonna cost more than used to be," and also so inflation will be one of the factors. Biden trimmed down the 1.7 trillion spending plan, which will be a factor. If it got approved, that means too much money on the side again, right? He pumped extra money into the economy. With stability, the Treasury yield curve, international relationship between U.S. and China. Even though we see, at least I read some news that there are talks again going on between U.S. and China, which is positive and good things. Well, I don't know how much you can get into, but my opinion again is, if both sides don't add tariffs to each other, we give example, guess what? We will see a quicker swing and drop on inflation in America. I guarantee you that. Why? Because a lot of stuff you see made in China, right? So you have tariffs in it. Go figure. There's still a number of companies in growth stock will announce earnings. So if the growth stock do well, like XPEV, announcing HYON, it should be good. Hopefully, because they were still losing money, but less money, so it's still good. Then the market can still expect the momentum. But XPE, bear in mind, it was from $37 from the graph I showed you. Actually, even has 35 at one point, 35.50 last month, to about a last run to $47, $48. So that's 12 over 35. That's already 30% increase. Go figure, right? And then whether they will meet the expectations, will really drive the market change. So the market maybe still a little volatility on November, but I don't think anybody expect a crash now. Even if inflation drop by another 10-15%, people screaming, it's not gonna cause the market crash, right? But volatility, and with the standard effect, you kind of have to watch for, and maybe you will actually bring them another high. And also, I haven't heard any news about this, but I'm so sure somebody will bring it up again. If the market continue to go up, they talk about Dow at the early beginning. Remember the Tom Lee, the fat guy? He predicted $40,000 Dow Jones. So I'm still looking at that as a benchmark, as a reminder. If October curse is gone now, it should be good. It will hit that number maybe end of a year. And also, we'll see how things shape up on the Bitcoin. But I gave you a couple of, Bitcoin examples and the volatility and the pricing drivers. So I personally put in bet. I will not buy until the market drop back down to maybe at least 50, now 61 back to 50. That's 20% there. Then I may buy back some. And then, I'll take advantage of the momentum again between 50 and 60 to determine buy or sell. And again, that to me, that play more safe on Bitcoin, more like short-term than a long-term person from that perspective. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you have any questions, just drop me an email. Please give me a like if you like my video. Thank you.